Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and there's been a shitload, a metric fuck ton, maybe not a metric fuck ton, just a mild fuck ton of news that has been coming out today and yesterday throughout the news, and we're going to talk about it all on this show today. Don't really do it like this usually, but we'll see how it goes. There's just a bunch of little stuff going on to talk about, and it's going to be fun. Let's have a good time together, all right? Don't make it fucking weird. First up, The Exorcist has been sort of delayed. Not the movie being delayed, but the production of it has been delayed, as Deadline reports that a health issue for Leslie Odom Jr. prompted a holiday break for bedeviled Exorcist redo. This week, Universal and Peacock had an early and not cost insignificant shutdown for the holiday on The Exorcist, the one that David Gordon Green's going to be directing. It says sources cited an unspecified health issue involving Leslie Odom Jr., and they hope have him back along with the rest of the cast in January. I mean, that's a big deal. I hope everything's okay. I hope everything's all right with Leslie Odom Jr., and we'll see what happens with that. But that is you never, when there's trouble on the set of an Exorcist movie, your brain always goes to the shit might be fucking haunted, man. But no, in all seriousness, I hope it's nothing too serious for Leslie Odom Jr. I hope everything goes okay there. Also, a Night of the Living Dead movie was announced a while back by Deadline that they're going to go back into this universe. It's going to be done by director Nikyatu Husu, who directed Nanny. And originally my thoughts were just like, look, hey, yeah, okay, another Night of the Living Dead movie. It's going to probably go straight to video. It'll probably suck. They'll probably spend like $8 and an oatmeal cream pie on it. And, whatever. It's just using the title. Big deal. But that's what I get for being fucking negative. It's what my dad used to tell me before he'd break a beer bottle over my head. That's not true. That never happened. He did it with emotions. No, I'm kidding. But the news that comes out today makes you go, hey, Dimitri, you surprised you're haunting me. You do good things in the streets. Where the fuck did that come from? I think somewhere, the Italian voice, and then somewhere in my head there was The Exorcist with the, don't do this to me, Dimitri. I don't know what just happened. Anyways, Deadline reports today that Amazon's MGM is in final negotiations to acquire worldwide rights to the upcoming movie, and their plan is to release it in theaters. As Alanis Morissette would say, in a theater. And she's not talking about giving head to that guy from Full House. We're talking about it being a wide-release theatrical film. So holy shit, maybe there's something to this. LaToya Morgan, the writer of The Walking Dead, is the one pinning the script to this, so the Night of the Living Dead remake sounds a lot more important and for real and maybe franchise restarting than we thought it was going to be. So we'll find out what goes on with that. So definitely going to start paying more attention to it now for sure. Speaking of paying more attention, I had no idea that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't on 4K yet. But we found out today it is coming to 4K with a shitload of extras. Look at that. Sexual box. I want to lick it. But here's a look at the shitload of features that are going to be on it. A bunch of commentaries, new never-before-seen feature-length documentary. The Legacy of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going to be on there. And there's like 12 fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre documentaries. We have like a half of a Scream one. Can we please get on that? Please? And also, I want a fucking documentary that does, what do they call that? Never Sleep Again? Am I going to shoot up today? Is that what we're doing? We need a goddamn Never Sleep Again, Crystal Lake Memories style, full, deep inside of documentary going through each movie of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. We also need a deeper one for Scream. Maybe after the sixth one comes out, which looks fucking awesome, we'll get one. So that's my hopes. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is coming to 4K. Doesn't matter. God, I fucking love Christmas time. Amazon comes every 20 goddamn minutes, and my dog has never seen the Amazon guy. Every time. It's like fucking 50 first dates in this house. Okay, so the Total Film magazine came out today, and they had this picture of Evil Dead Rise, which is probably going to be one of my top 2 or 3 most anticipated movies of 2023. I can't wait for this. It sounds fucking awesome. And to get the quick update on that, you can check out a video we just put out called 10 Horror Franchises Returning in 2023, which goes into depth on everything involving that we know so far, except for this, which is a picture that we just got today, and it makes no goddamn sense compared to what we've heard from it. Everything we've heard from it's going to take place in the city. It's going to take place in a skyscraper. They're leaving the woods to really just do this other thing. And the other pictures they showed us were in the skyscraper and in this apartment building. And now we get this. And then you do something like this and completely redeem yourself. This picture of this chick, it reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface 3D. 3? No, not 3D. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw. You know, the fucking weird one. Reminds me of that trailer when Excalibur just comes out of the water and he catches it. But anyways, yeah, I can't even tell which actress it is. It's just floating on the fucking water. I don't know if she's definitely come out of the water because she's dripping. That's not a sentence I expected to say when I woke up this morning. But she's definitely coming out of the water because she's dripping. So she's just ascending from the water. This boggles my mind. It's awesome because, you know, it's provocative. It gets the people going. How did we get from the skyscraper to her floating above the water? What the fuck? I got nothing, Scott. What do you guys think is happening in this fucking random ass picture? All I know is it makes it all the more intriguing. I can't wait to see Evil Dead Rise. It's gonna fucking rule. And we have 2 non-horror movie news stories to talk about today. Number 1, Twisters. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge Twister guy. And Twisters is coming. Now, obviously, the first thing you think is go, fucking no goddamn Bill Paxton, man. That's what sucks about it. But they reported today that director Lee Isaac Chung is in talks to direct this. Now, I've not seen a goddamn thing he's done, but he's an Oscar-nominated director who does really, really fancy, important pictures that like Oscar people watch. So that's strange, but then when you read about who wrote this movie, it's Mark L. Smith. Do you know what Mark L. Smith fucking wrote? And by the way, apparently they flipped their minds. Steven Spielberg and everybody lost their minds when they read the script that this guy wrote and fast-tracked it, and that's why it's happening. It's Mark L. Smith who wrote The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. He wrote Overlord, which is badass. Yeah, so this movie is gonna be like supremely serious. Like the tone of this, it feels like they're putting in some artsy-fartsy shit in there, which, I mean, honestly, that's kind of fascinating when you tie in the tornado situation. Now, the idea was to try and bring Helen Hunt back as well, and the story is going to focus around her and her daughter, who takes a liking to the old storm a chasing. And it's interesting, they said here that one of the reasons that Lee Isaac Chung is the one that they were in talks to direct this movie with is because he grew up in the Midwest and had a lot of run-ins with tornadoes and having to hide in storm shelters from them and whatnot. So, I don't know, man. Twisters is sounding like more than your average tornado air, more than your average tornado. It sounded like more than your average tornado movie. You know what I mean? And I love a good fucking tornado movie. Now that would be a movie I'd like to see. What if a giant came down and fucked a tornado? I'd watch that too. Hey, there's your next Sharknado idea. Sharknado's 9. Tornadoes fuck. And last but not least, let's talk about the big, giant piece of ass in the room. The whole news that's coming out with DC and the whole James Gunn situation. They just announced yesterday that, and everybody's talking about this, so I'll just be brief. I won't get deep with my thoughts about it. But James Gunn came out, Henry Cavill came out, and they said, yeah, he's definitely done as Superman. They said that what they're going to be writing, and James Gunn's going to write the new Superman movie, and said that it was going to be involve a young Superman and telling the story from an early point. He also said it would not be an origin story, which is refreshing, but I don't know how we're going young Superman. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But it's going to involve a young Superman, for starters, and Henry Cavill is not going to be a part of it. But they did talk about him possibly doing other things, and they had encouraging conversations about him doing other characters later on in the universe, and those talks are ongoing. They also said that Ben Affleck and him had a conversation, and Ben Affleck wants to direct a DC property, so they're going to work on that and find the right project for him, which is really interesting to me. And to me, that leaves the door open, I guess, that he could direct a Batman movie. That's like a standalone movie, although that sounds very unlikely. But yeah, you know, it sucks. It sucks. They just fucking brought back Henry Cavill, and we're just like, hey, we're doing Man of Steel 2! And everybody's like, yay! But no, it's not going to happen. I feel fucking terrible for Cavill. He's been edged by DC at this point for fucking like 10 years. Man of Steel ruled, in my opinion. You know, we love Batman vs. Superman. He's my favorite Superman. Just that guy's just been a prince about all this shit. And I'm super disappointed we're not going to get Man of Steel 2. And it fucking sucks, to quote Kurt Russell in Tango and Cash. The whole thing just fucking sucks. But that being said, I think that fans have all had enough of the past 10 years of fighting and complaining and Warner Brothers sticking strange, sharp objects up our assholes, only to return them to the store unclean. But I will say this, I do think James Gunn is the right man for the job. And I do, as much as it sucks, I kind of understand where they're coming from. I mean, I think James Gunn's the right man for the job because he's the one guy who I don't think is going to go in there and be like, we need to copy and paste what Marvel's doing. That's what DC's been doing and doing wrong for years. This is the problem with the Black Adams and the Shazams even. And even though I like Shazam, the second one, I have no interest in it, to be honest with you, because it just seems like the same thing they were doing over there. I want to see what they can do over here with some dark, weird shit, you know? And I think James Gunn is the guy to fucking do that. That being said, I think there's a lot of ego that's coming in on this, and that's understandable. I mean, Superman is the biggest character in DC. Him and Batman, top heavy, biggest characters in DC. If you put out Zack Snyder's Superman out there and you have him lead this new universe, which is also very confusing because Warner Brothers couldn't make a fucking microwavable bowl of mashed potatoes without fucking it up. When you go in there and you see the Snyder Universe Superman on the screen, it's just, I feel like they want their guy. They want to pick a guy that's going to lead their universe in this whole new fresh start. And I get it. I mean, I get it. But it's like in the NFL, if you guys watch sports or whatever, like a lot of times the GM will come in and there's been a quarterback who was drafted 3 years ago and they don't really give him a chance. Like they go ahead and start looking at getting the next guy and rebuilding because it's like, I want to pick my guy. If my future is going to hinge on this quarterback, I want to be the one that picks him. I'm not going in there with someone else's, project. And not only that, but fans are going to see that and they're always going to think of the Snyderverse. And if you really want a fresh start, I get where they're coming from, but it does fucking suck. And if I had my druthers, it'd be Henry Cavill all day. He's earned it. He's definitely at least earned a Man of Steel 2. And the only thing to that I would say is, if Batman can have his own goddamn universe with Matt Reeves, then why can't Man of Steel have its own universe and be separate? Pick your Superman. Do a young Superman. But let's let someone come in, George Miller, who the fuck ever, and make a Man of Steel 2. And just say, hey, it's not part of that universe. Boom. It's fucking done. I don't know why we can't do that. Why can't we do that? Comment down below. Let me know how you guys feel about all this. And we're going live this Saturday night, and we're going to talk about all this stuff, all this news with you guys. Get your opinions, so don't forget about that. Also, tons of shit on our Patreon. Don't forget about it in the link below. Also, click the subscribe button. I need you to do a lot of shit here, okay? I've got a very important thing for you. And it's not in my pants this time. I swear, it won't be like last time. No, if you guys would, just click subscribe and the bell so that you are notified when we make a video. Because if you're not, YouTube will bury us. Because I make sex jokes like I just did, and they don't like it. Not one bit. But if you want more Wham content, including over 75 different commentaries, just tons of shit, just check out the Patreon. It doesn't cost anything to look around. Just turn off the lights and feel around a little bit. See if you like it. I love you. I love your fucking faces. I hope you guys have an awesome day. That's the news, sluts! Halloween never ends. Suck my fucking dick. And I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not. Yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS, cause Halloween never ends.